Hello students, welcome to today's session. Today we are going to solve a couple of important numericals from work energy theorem. Students often find it very difficult to solve the numericals as they are not able to recall and remember the formula at the right time. You can remember and recall the formulas if you have practice over the formulas. So make a formula chart at the end of each lesson and practice the formula every day so that you can be a better versatile problem solver. So let's go to the video directly. Let's go to the first question. How is the kinetic energy of a moving cart affected? First, if its mass is doubled. Second, its velocity is reduced to 1/3 of its initial velocity. It's a basic problem. If you know the formula, you can solve it very easily. Let's solve it. I hope you got the problem. Let the initial kinetic energy of the body be K1 is equal to half mv square. I am taking the initial kinetic energy as K1 is equal to half mv square. What happens to the final kinetic energy when mass is doubled? V remaining constant. So I can write K2 is equal to half m. M will become 2m into v square. Alright. So 2 is taken outside, half mv square. So what is half mv square? It is initial kinetic energy. So I can write K2 is equal to 2K1. So it means that the final kinetic energy become double, 2 times that of the initial kinetic energy when the mass is doubled. It is obvious from the expression. And the velocity remaining constant, if you double the mass, kinetic energy also will be doubled. Alright? Okay. So in the second part, we are reducing the velocity to 1/3 of its initial value. So the initial kinetic energy is half mv square. When v is equal to 1/3 of the initial velocity, of course m remaining constant, let's check it out. What happens? The final kinetic energy Kt is equal to half into m into v square. That is v is equal to 1/3 of original v. So 1/3 v the whole square. So that's equal to, I can write 1/3 the whole square, 1/9 half mv square. Simple mathematics. 1/3. So it means kinetic energy, the final kinetic energy K2 is equal to 1/9 of K1. What is half mv square? Half mv square is equal to K1, initial kinetic energy. So when the velocity is reduced to 1/3, what happens? Since it is velocity is squared, the final kinetic energy is reduced to 1/9th part of initial kinetic energy. Alright. So if the velocity is doubled, keeping the mass constant, what will happen? The final kinetic energy will become v square, 2 square, 4 times. It will become 4 times. If velocity is reduced 1/3, the final kinetic energy will become 1/9th of initial kinetic energy. Alright? Okay. Moving on to the question number 2. A block A weighing 100 Newton is pulled up a slope of length 5 meter by means of a constant force of 100 Newton as shown in the figure. First question, what is the work done by the force F in moving a block A 5 meter along the slope? Second, what is the increase in potential energy of the block A? Third, account for the difference in work done by the force and the increase in potential energy of the block. Let's solve it. As you can see, the diagram is drawn on the whiteboard, which is given along with the question. A block A weighing 100 Newton is being pulled up along the slope through a distance of 5 meter, and the height of the slope is 3 meter. It's an inclined plane, of course, whose height is 3 meter and length is 5 meter. So first we have to calculate what is the work done. What is the work done in pulling this weight along the slope up through a distance of 5 meter. So what is the distance given there? Distance S is equal to 5 meter. Okay, what is the force? Force is equal to 100 Newton. So it's a direct substitution problem. Work done is equal to force into displacement. That's equal to 100 Newton into 5 meter. That's equal to 500 joule. So simple. So this is the work done by the force F in moving this block or pulling this block along this inclined plane through a distance of 5 meter. Second part of the question, what is the increase in potential energy of the block A? So what is the increase in potential energy of the block A? So this was the reference level. What is the increase in potential energy? So you have to calculate the potential energy of the body. Okay, I can write what is the formula for potential energy? mgh when it is raised through a height 3 meter above the ground. This is the reference level. At the ground, initial potential energy was 0. So when it is raised to a height through 3 meter, and when it is reached at the point C, what is the potential energy of the body? That's equal to mgh. Here, what is the mass of the body? Mass is equal to, weight is given 100 Newton, 100 by 10, that is equal to 10 kilogram. Okay, height remains, h is equal to 3 meter. H is equal to 3 meter over there. And value of g, we can take it as, if it is given there, value of g, okay, we can take it as 10, no problem. So I can write mass into 10 kilogram force into 10 into height, how much? 3. So that is equal to, we are getting it as 10 into 10, 100. 100 3s are 300 joule. So this is the potential energy after reaching at the point C through a height of 3 meter. Okay. The third part of the question, it's a 3-mark question having 3 subparts. Account the difference in the work done by the force and the increase in potential energy of the block. See, what is the difference in amount of difference in work done? Potential energy is also a, when you are raising the body through a height 3 meter, you are raising it, the body, and keeping it here, you are doing certain amount of work done against the force of gravity, that is 300 joule. While you are pulling this body along the inclined surface, the work done is 500 joule. So what is the difference in potential energy? Difference in PE, or difference in work done, that is equal to difference in PE, that is equal to work done, nothing but it is work done, is equal to 500 minus 300, that is equal to 200 joule. Okay, so while pulling this block along the inclined surface, 500 joule, when you are directly lifting it up, it is 300 joule. Okay, so 200 joule is used. So 200 joule, where it is missing, this 200 joule is used, you can say that it is used up in doing work against the force of friction. The force of friction is acting downward. Alright, it's an opposing force. So against the force of friction, that 200 joules of energy is being utilized. Okay, so this is the difference in work done, 200 joule. So that 200 joule is vanishing, that is disappearing, that you are doing, it is used up in doing the work against the force of friction between the block and the slope, which will disappear as heat energy. It will disappear as heat energy. It will be disappear or dissipated as heat energy. Okay, I hope you understood. Okay, moving to question number 3. A ball of mass 10 gram falls from a height of 5 meter. It rebounds from the ground to a height of 4 meter. Find first the initial potential energy of the ball, second the kinetic energy of the ball just before striking the ground, third the kinetic energy of the ball after striking the ground, and fourth the loss in kinetic energy on striking the ground. G 9.8 meter per second square. So please practice this type of numericals. It is very important. Let us solve it. Let us visualize the case involved here. A ball of mass 10 gram. So a ball of mass 10 gram falls from a height of 5 meter. It is coming down, and on striking the ground, it rebounds from the ground to a height of 4 meter. Okay, so a ball of mass 10 gram falling from a height of 5 meter and striking the ground, it is rebounding height of 4 meter. All right. Okay. Now what is the mass given there? Mass is equal to 10 gram. Convert into SI system. That is equal to 10 by 1000. 10 by 1000 I can write 0.01 kg. Okay. Yeah. So H is equal to 5 meter height. Value of G is 9.8 meter per second square, because they have given the value, we have to take the same value. And after rebounding, the rebounding height, how much height? I take it as H dash or H1, that's equal to 4 meter. That is the rebounding height. Alright. Let's move to the first part. The initial potential energy of the ball. What is the initial PE? Initial PE of the ball. Initial PE, potential energy when the body is at a height of 5 meter, resting at the height of 5 meter. So I can write mgh, the formula, direct application of the formula. That's equal to mass is equal to 0.01 into g is equal to 9.8 into height is equal to 5 meter. Solve it very carefully, and I can write initial potential energy as, just multiply and see very carefully, 0.49 joule. Alright? Okay. Now the second part of the question is the kinetic energy of the ball just before striking the ground. So when the ball just before striking the ground, the whole potential energy will be converted into kinetic energy. So during a free fall, you know, the potential energy is gradually being converted into kinetic energy. The potential energy is decreasing, kinetic energy is increasing. Just before touching the ground, the whole potential energy will be converted into kinetic energy. So I can write kinetic energy of the ball according to the conservation of energy. Kinetic energy of the ball before striking the ground is equal to initial PE. Initial PE. So what is the initial PE potential energy? We have already calculated, that is equal to 0.49 joule. No need of calculating it again. So kinetic energy of the ball before striking the ground is equal to the initial potential energy, because energy can neither be created nor be destroyed at all. Okay. The third part of the question, the kinetic energy of the ball after striking the ground. Okay. The kinetic energy of the ball after striking the ground, I can write Ke of the ball after striking the ground will be equal to, how much? The potential energy of the ball at the highest point. So after striking, it will rebound to a height of 4 meter above the ground. 4 meter above the ground. So the kinetic energy of the ball after striking the ground will be equal to PE, potential energy of the ball at the highest point, after rebounding. Okay, so that is equal to, I can write, that's equal to mgh1, where h1 is the height, h1 is equal to 4 meter. So that's equal to mass 0.01 into g, 9.8 into 4. So we are getting it as, solve it and see, 0.392 joule. Multiply it very carefully. So that is the kinetic energy of the ball after striking the ground, 0.392 joule. And the last part, the fourth part, what is the loss in kinetic energy on striking the ground? So loss in Ke after striking the ground, on striking the ground. So what is the loss in kinetic energy after striking the ground? Of course, this will be equal to initial kinetic energy and final kinetic energy. Difference between initial kinetic energy, K initial minus K final. So what is the K initial value? 0.49 minus how much? Final 0.392. Okay, that I am getting it as, just subtract it and see, I am getting it as 0.098 joule. So this is the loss in kinetic energy after striking the ground, which is equal to initial kinetic energy minus final kinetic energy, that is equal to 0.098 joule. So if you know the formula, if you know the theory, you can easily solve the numericals. Moving on to the fourth question. A body of mass 60 kg has the momentum 3000 kg meter per second. Calculate the kinetic energy and second the speed of the body. Kinetic energy and speed of the body. Okay, let us solve it. It's a basic problem. A body of mass 60 kg. Mass is equal to 60 kg has the momentum P is equal to 3000 kilogram meter per second. Okay. First we have to calculate the kinetic energy of the body. So we know the relation between kinetic energy and momentum. Kinetic energy how much? First part. We know that K is equal to P square by 2m. Okay. You should be master over the formula. You should remember all the formulas. So kinetic energy is equal to P square by 2m. So what is P? 3000 squared divided by 3000 squared divided by 2 into mass 60. Okay, that's equal to 3000 into 3000 divided by 2 into 60. 0 0 cancels. This is equal to 150. This is how much? Then solve it. 3000 into 150 divided by 6. Solve it and see. We are getting it as I can write it. Solve it and see. The answer is coming out 7.5 into 10 to the power 4 joule. Okay. So this is the kinetic energy possessed by the body. Remember the formula, kinetic energy is equal to P square by 2m. Okay. Yeah. Second part. What is the second part? Speed of the body. How much you have to find out. So simple. You know the if you know the momentum, you know the mass, you know that P is equal to mv, mass into velocity. V is equal to P by m. P is equal to how much? Momentum 3000 divided by mass how much? 60 kg. Okay. 60 how much? 300 divided by 6. You are getting it as 50 meter per second. Alright. A question which carries 2 marks. It has got 2 subparts. A basic problem. If you know the formula, you can solve it very easily. Moving to the last question, fifth question. In a dam, water falls at a rate of 1000 kg per second from a height of 100 meter. First, calculate the initial potential energy of the water. Second, assuming that 60% of the energy of the falling water is converted into electrical energy, calculate the power generated. Okay, let's find out the quantities given there. In a dam, water falls at the rate of 1000 kg per second. So mass of the water is equal to 1000 kg per second. Time is equal to 1 second. G is given as 9.8 meter per second square. Okay, through a height of 100 meter. The height of the dam is 100 meter. Alright? Yeah. So first question is calculate the initial potential energy. Initial PE of water. When the water is stored high up in the dam, it has potential energy. Okay, that's equal to mgh. Very simple. So how much? I can write 1000 into 9.8 into how much? Distance or height? 100 meter. So I can get it as 9.8 into 3 plus 2, 5, 10 to the power 5 joule. This is the initial potential energy of the water which is stored high up in a dam at a height of 100 meter, of course. Second, assuming that 60% of the energy of the falling water is converted into electrical energy, calculate the power generated. You have to calculate the power generated. P, how much? So what is the energy available to us? I can write energy available. What is the energy available to us? That is equal to initial potential energy. Alright. So whatever may be the initial potential energy, that will be available to us. So how much percentage of the energy is converted into electrical energy? Energy converted into electrical energy. Energy converted into electrical energy. Electrical energy. How much? 60% of the initial PE. 40% is wasted. We are getting 60% of. Okay. So that's equal to, I can write 60%. 60 divided by 100 into mgh. Okay, so that I can write 0.6 mgh. 0.6 mgh, correct? Yes, 6 by 10, 0.6 mgh. Alright. So what is the power generator? Power is equal to electric energy or rate of doing work, energy upon time. Okay, so E by T. What is E? What is the energy available to us? 0.6 mgh divided by T. Okay, that is equal to 0.6 into, what is the mgh there? 1000 into 9.8 into how much height? 1000 into height is 100 divided by time, that is equal to 1 second. That's equal to how much? Just solve it and see. Just solve it and see. We are getting it as 5.88 into 10 to the power 5 watt. So power is expressed in watt. Just solve it and see. 0.6 into mass 1000 into 9.8 g into height divided by 1. So we are getting it as power 5.88 into 10 to the power 5 watt. So I have tried to include all the varieties of numericals. These all are the important varieties of numericals. All of you practice it. Thank you very much.